Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it has fallen on me to interrupt the celebrations and speak first as the father of the bride. So, unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I promise to keep this as short and sweet as I possibly can, just like Palace's defence of their FA Cup win last night.
Well done, Spencer.
That's it, let's finish now. Took it too far, that is too far. Firstly, I want to thank all of you for coming today to celebrate Lauren and Matthew's wedding, a day so special that even the rain has decided to have a day off. I also want to thank the bride and groom for putting on such a great show for us all. I'm sure you will all agree they've both done a sterling job. Thank you to the mother of the bride, Siobhan, and to my new in-laws, Bev and Terry. A big thank you to the bridesmaids, Clodagh, Holly and Zoe, for all your help and support you've given Lauren today. You all look very lovely. Thank you to the flower girls, Alexa and Bella, who have nearly stolen the show from the bride. And last but not least, a great big thank you to the two young groomsmen, Isaiah and Noah. You both look very smart in your tuxedos. Could I ask the following to please now stand? The parents of the bride and groom, the bridesmaids, the flower girls, and of course the groomsmen, so that we can all toast you and thank you for your help and support today and for all looking so lovely. Cheers. So, Lauren, it's finally arrived, the day of your wedding, the day I was beginning to wonder would ever happen. I remember when you first told me about your budding romance with your husband. Not long after Matthew moved into your flat, you assured me that my limited DIY skills would no longer be needed, as he would take care of all those duties going forward. This promise was quickly broken when I had a call soon after asking me to put some new pictures on the walls. As it turned out, Matthew did not know a 5mm drill bit from his elbow. So I stand here today before you as the proudest dad in the world. Lauren, you're an amazing young woman, both loving and kind, and so caring to your family and friends. You have always been so strong-minded and determined to succeed at everything you take on. Even when life has thrown obstacles at you, you have never let anything get in your way or slow you down. From a young age, you knew what you wanted and where you were heading. You breezed through your school years with glowing reports every time, outstanding exam results, and finally a 2-1 degree in English literature. It then took a few different jobs before you finally found your calling. I have no doubt that you will soon be the next CEO of your current company. You were destined to become the best at everything you turned your hand to. As a child, you kept us all entertained with a series of humorous episodes, such as insisting that your school shoes were buckled up so tightly you almost turned blue. That's coming. You created your own language, which you used when you couldn't quite say the words you were trying to say properly. One example of this is when you often said, "I am the hump," which meant you were having a bad day. You wrote your own song called "We Are One of You," which I'm sure with some polish would have been a chart topper. You even tried giving football a go a few times, which I think was more about trying to please me than anything else. Your career as a footballer was sadly cut short by a few crunching tackles, which nowadays would have resulted in a red card for the offender, after a 10-minute VAR check, of course. You were obsessed by the TV show Friends, knowing every line from every episode, and I'm sure that you still secretly want to be Rachel. When you were a baby, I used to strum on my guitar and sing to sleep by playing a song called Beautiful Boy by John Lennon. The words summed up how I felt when becoming a father and having my life totally transformed by this small person who made lots of weird noises and was completely dependent on me and Siobhan. Lauren has chosen this song as our wet father-daughter dance, so I wanted to mention it for those here today who are not aware of this and may question why we are dancing to a song which mentions a beautiful boy and not a girl. And now here you are, all grown up and looking beautiful in your wedding dress on your wedding day. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Matthew, I would like to officially welcome you into the family. Although you are a Palace fan, we will try our best not to hold that against you and give you a fighting chance at least. You make Lauren very happy, and for that I thank you. Together with your two boys, Isaiah and Noah, you have completed Lauren's world, and your wedding today is the icing on the cake. I'm so pleased that she's choosing you to be the person to spend the rest of her life with. It's a tough job for you, but I'm sure that in time you will become man enough to succeed. So I'd like to finish with a few words of advice for you both. Firstly to Matthew, remember to always do as she says, as she's obviously always right. And Lauren, remember, when he's getting his nerves so badly, it could be worse, it could turn into me. Seriously though, never forget that should you ever need any help or support, I'm only a phone call away. Thank you all for listening to me, but before I shut down and sit down, I would like to end with a toast to the happy couple. So please may I ask you all to stand and raise your glasses to Lauren and Matthew.
Oh, that's thank you.
Cả ba thì xấu ghê.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now you can relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the groom. Can we all stand and give a round of applause for Matthew?
All right, thank you everyone for being here to celebrate with me and my beautiful wife. First of all, thank you, Spencer, for those kind words. I'll never forget the first time I met you, and the first thing you said to me, "You'll never be good enough for my daughter, and we will never be friends." Well, Spence, looks like we're best mates now, mate. But yeah, honestly, thank you all so much for being here. It's been a long road, a lot of planning for me, as you all know, Lauren has planned everything. Now just a few thank yous. So thank you to our page boys and my beautiful sons, Isaiah and Noah. You make me the proudest dad alive, just to be your daddy. So thank you boys so much for being here to celebrate. Thank you to our flower girls and my two favourite girls, Bella and Alexa. We cannot wait to see you on the dance floor, showing everyone how to do those famous dance moves. To Lauren's mum and dad, Siobhan and Spencer. Thank you for welcoming me into your families with such open arms. I know I can be loud at times, but after getting to know your side of the family, I guess I'm the quiet one. This guy's he's right. To my mum and dad, thank you for being here to celebrate this beautiful day and for welcoming Lauren, or Lorraine, as Dad likes to call her, to the family. I'm speaking for both me and Lauren, but we wouldn't be here today without the four of you. Support, financially, everything. Thank you so much. And now to the bridesmaids, Clodagh, Zoe, Holly. First of all, you three look absolutely beautiful. Thank you for planning a wonderful hen party for my wife. Even though I did have to pick you all up from the train station at 12 a.m. and had to bring canisters of water and heard you all guzzling it in the back of the car. To my best men, Paul, Jason and Adam, can we all get a round of applause for them and how beautiful they look as well? Yeah, you all look absolutely stunning. Thank you for a great stag, even though I do not remember a lot of it. And please keep the best man speech PG. There are children here. Now, while we celebrate, I just want to mention those that could not make it today. We recently lost my stepmom, Sandra, a couple of months ago, and I know she would have loved celebrating with us today. We also have in our minds my Uncle Ian, my Uncle Colin, my Uncle Ronnie, my Auntie Charmaine, and my Auntie Michelle, and both set of my grandparents. On Lauren's side, we have Lauren's granddad Tommy, her great-granny Pickles and Garg, and Robert and Anne. And a final shout out to our very loved dogs, Paddy and Toby. If we can all raise a glass to lost friends. Oh, I don't have a glass, yeah. And now on to my beautiful wife, Lauren Elizabeth Rose Hewis. So, as everyone may know, me and Lauren met at work 4 years ago, and I had two very strict rules if we're ever going to be friends or get to know each other. One, you have to be from South London. I am not travelling to North London to meet you. But the main question, and the biggest test of them all, so from me, guys, I'm a simple man.
We know that.
That's right. I love my family, I guess. I love my food, but the biggest love of my life is Crystal fucking Palace. One of the greatest days of my life was seeing us lift our first ever trophy in our lifetime. The tears that fell down my face, honestly. And if you turn behind me, you can watch the full night now, Jake. So yeah, anyways, back to Lauren, sorry. So I asked Lauren who she supported, and she looked at me and she said, well, if I had to support anyone, it would be Palace, because my Uncle Jim, big up Uncle Jim, has a box at Palace. From that moment, I knew she was the one for me. It's funny though, because when I first met Lauren's family, one of the first things they said to me was how quiet she is and keeps herself to herself and just gets on with it. I would really like to meet this Lauren. Because when she's with me, she does not shut up. I know, especially at her work, right? I know everyone at her work. So after a day at work, I know her work colleagues, I know where they live, I know if they're married, I know if they're single, I know if they've just got kids, I know her boss, I know who her boss is, and probably what they had for breakfast. Yeah. Facts. Yeah. But I confirm to you all, Lauren is not quiet. Also, I'm kind of scared of Lauren.
You should be.
Yeah. And I know she likes that as well, not in a weird way. So I'm scared of Lauren when she has her flashlight out and she is pointing it at my body, because that means one thing and one thing only: I have a spot or an ingrown hair that needs to be popped. I am literally screaming in pain, blood pouring from my face, chest, back, arms, and she will look at me and say, "Stop being a baby." So guys, Lauren likes to be in control. She pre-approves my emails. She manages my diary and basically manages my life. This is not related to me being disorganized by any way. She's also the reason I look like this. Well, the reason that I look like what I look like in my suit. I've always been a fashion icon. My brother Adam always used to copy the way I look and dress. The truth is, if you ever like a jacket or anything that I'm wearing, it's because Lauren's picked it. And I know if anyone ever compliments me, deep down she is so happy and is going to use it against me. No. No, but in all seriousness, that says everything about the girl I love with all my heart. Dating someone with 2 children is a huge challenge for most, but not for Lauren. she was not fazed. She looks after Isaiah and Noah like they are her own. The love she has for my boys, and more importantly, the love they have for her, is emotional. It's got to the point where Isaiah would prefer to video call Lauren instead of me now. Lauren, I'm gonna get soppy now. Lauren, they say you should marry your best friend, and I truly have. You're my same brain, the person who knows what I'm thinking before I've even said it. I know a joke about you being in control, but being managed by you means being loved by you. You look absolutely stunning today. No, she looks absolutely stunning every day. Smooth. People talk about twin flames, which you told me about. That's the idea of one soul was split into two and placed in two different bodies. That is exactly what you are to me. You are the other half of me that I didn't know I was even missing. In every lifetime, I would find you and I would choose you, Lauren Elizabeth Rose Hewins. I love you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Well done, babe. Now it is time for the best men's speech. Can my brothers Jason and Adam please step forward? Oh, Jason is looking nervous, I am telling you. Jason is looking nervous. Happy, is it
Hello, everyone. Now, before I get into my speech, I want everyone to practice their raising their glass hand. I want to make sure everyone is still warmed up. So can you raise your glass if you think Matthew and Lauren are perfect for each other? I agree. Uncle Ferlin, raise your glass. Now raise your glass if you think Lauren looks 10 out of 10 today. I agree too. Okay, one more. And if you raise your glass, if you agree with me that Matthew is punching with Lauren. We've all got something in common. Now, good evening, everyone. I'm Jason. I'm Matthew's oldest brother, lifelong rival, and the all-round... Oh, sorry, eldest. Forget about calls.
Just read your notes, please. Just read your notes.
And all round, I've really gone there. I'm widely recognised as the all-round best brother. Now, there is a direct quote from Mum and Lauren, strangely. Now, I just want to start by saying this has truly been a day to remember so far, because at long last, Matthew Hewins has finally brought a round of drinks. Now, this is my first best match speech I've ever given, so naturally, I turn to my trusted other half, ChatGPT, for some expert advice. And it told me to imagine everyone in this room completely naked. So on that note, Matthew, you are looking extra special tonight. But Matt, if you're that cold, you should really let someone know. Now, when Matthew asked me to be part of his best man trio, I knew I had a tough job ahead of me. Because when your subject is as boring as Matthew, you really have to dig deep for material. But here I am, I'm going to give it my best shot. Now, we did ask our eldest brother, Paul, to do the speech. Paul, please stand up. But we quickly changed our minds after Paul's opening line was, "Me and Matthew have never really been that close." So we thought we'd keep things a bit more upbeat and keep Paul away from the speeches. So growing up, Matthew gave us plenty of stories. Some I was told not to share, so I've narrowed it down to my favourites. Story 1. I'm sorry, Matthew. Matthew wet the bed until he was 14 years old. Which I found particularly traumatic because I slept in the bottom bunk.
We listen and we don't judge.
Story 2. Matthew likes to wear women's jewellery. He once had to be taken to A&E to have our mum's ring cut off his finger, all because he wanted to see if it looked good on him. So Lauren, no pressure, but we're hoping for a better outcome with his ring tonight. Story 3. Matthew's unforgettable football career. Matthew once played in a primary school friendly, the kind where everyone gets a go, all abilities welcome. Matthew was a second half sub, and after 180 seconds, Matthew was subbed off. In a game with no standards, Matthew still didn't meet that standard. The best part of this story is they didn't even replace him with another sub. They'd rather play with 10 men. Story 4. Matthew started losing his hair at the age of 15, which is coincidentally around the same time he stopped wetting the bed. I'll let you draw your own conclusions now. Story 5. Matthew ruined Christmas. In his early 20s, Matthew decided to tell our mum and dad at Christmas he didn't believe in God or religion, despite being christened and having his Holy Communion. And yet somehow he's gone on to name his children Isaiah and Noah. So I guess we're just waiting for baby Jesus to arrive at any point. Story 6. Matthew met Lauren. Lauren, you've not only made my brother incredibly happy, but you've brought something really special into his life. The way you are with Isaiah and Noah is genuinely amazing to see. The boys clearly adore you, and that only comes from the love you've shown them from the very beginning. I actually realised just how natural you are at this whole parenting game last summer in Zante. We were in a cab heading back from dinner, and you had Noah sitting on your lap. Noah being Matthew's son, he pissed on you, and he pissed on you good. And you just did it. And you just dealt with it calmly, no drama, complete acceptance, like, yeah, this is my life now. And I remember thinking, yeah, she's definitely part of the family. Matt, I don't want to get emotional. Matt, all jokes aside, I am very proud of you. Life hasn't always been easy.
It's not going to get emotional, I agree. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. Stop getting emotional.
I know life hasn't always been easy. Between the bedwetting, the hair loss, and that phase you went through wearing women's jewellery, but you've grown into a great man, and a brilliant dad, and you raised 2 wonderful boys. And more importantly, you've now found someone who brings the best in you. Someone who makes you happy, supports you, and loves those boys like they're her own. So I'll finish with this. Matt, you're not just my little brother. You're in my top 20 best mates. Someone who makes me really happy.
Why didn't you do that? Honestly, why? Why did you do it like that?
You've met Lauren, someone who makes you really happy, supports you, and loves those boys like their own. Lauren, we couldn't have picked a better person for him, and even if we tried, and more importantly, we couldn't have picked a better person for the boys. You've made our family better by just being part of it. The reason I'm raising it is because I want to get it right. So if everyone could raise a glass to a lifetime of love, laughter, happiness, and just the right amount of re-drama to keep things interesting, to Matthew and Lauren, to Mr. and Mrs. Hewins. You are?
Well, say.
Well,
Karen I've had him too.
and to the youngest brother, the most modest brother of us of all, Adam Hewins.
That was great, Joe. That was actually so good. Well done. That was stunning. So obviously I can't follow in the jokes that Jason had because he's just so naturally funny and annoying. But Matt, by the way, earlier you outed me in your speech. You're going to seriously regret that one. Seriously. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt's younger brother. And more importantly, best man number one. Now, me and Jay have both made an executive decision today to not let best man number 3 speak, and that's our brother Paul. It's a bit of a, he's having a few drinks and have a good time, though. Firstly, I just want to congratulate my brother and Lauren on their special day. Lauren, you really look wonderful tonight. And Matt, you look stunning. I actually poked my eye. But seriously, some people spend their whole lives waiting to meet someone that changes everything. Matt got that out of the way nice and early, because on the 18th December 1993, that special person was born. Me. I've always been a bit of an idol to Matt. Around 11 or 12 years old, it stopped being admiration and it started being outright theft. First, my clothes. Then my aftershave, and then shockingly of all, my love of wrestling. Which he absolutely used to rinse me for, but now he's just as obsessed as I am. So much so that he created a wrestling group chat. And Matt decided to send a WhatsApp video of him dressed up as a wrestler. Now, there's no TVs to link here, but please everyone come up throughout the night and ask me to show this video. It's brilliant. So you think after all that stealing from me, Matt would finally stop. But no, not Matthew. So he decided to take one more thing from me. Luckily, not Katie, my 2 best friends. Introducing Jack and Danny. or what Matthew now calls them, best man number 4 and 5. Although Danny today has introduced himself as Daddy. I'm not too sure why.
Wrong direction.
Now, while being Matt's brother does come with plenty of negatives, it does come with a few positives. Now, those positives, just like Jason said, is Matthew's embarrassing stories. Now, as we all know, Matt is a huge Palace fan. He couldn't name me the starting 11, but he's a big fan. But sometimes being a combination of Matt and Palace doesn't always end well.
Adam, I swear if you tell this story.
Oh, here we go. So,
Adam.
right, about 10 years ago, we were standing watching Palace. We were sitting in the Arthur Waite stand. And for some reason, we were standing up, we got a bit too excited, Palace were attacking, which doesn't happen very often, right? Fairly normal for Palace. But however, a gentleman behind us asked Matthew to sit down. However, Matthew unexpectedly, aggressively wanted to fight this man, argue with him, and Jay had to step in and calm him down. The difficulty is, what I haven't told you, is the man that Matthew wanted to fight was a 70-year-old disabled man. And the only reason he was asking Matthew to sit down is because he physically couldn't stand up. The abuse Matt got that day was so bad, we are now to move our seats permanently. And he's been in hiding ever since.
That's the word.
Now, another Palace story, which fortunately doesn't involve him fighting the elderly,
but it does somehow, it's a little bit worse.
Not Huddersfield, is it?
Now, little side story. Matthew called me yesterday and he goes, oh, you haven't mentioned this story, have you? And I was like, don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Matthew, I did. So we decided to go. This is so bad. So we decided to go on a away trip, and whoever's been on this away trip knows exactly where this story ends. We decided to go on a away trip to Huddersfield, and we went out the night before. We all got a bit too excited, and we woke up with very heavy heads. We got to the stadium, we all felt even worse. However, Matthew was just a little bit worse than everyone else. He needed to go to the toilet. So if anyone's been to a football stadium knows, when you go to the men's urinal, it's awful. Men everywhere, everything on the floor, you just want to get in and out as you do. All the boys were in and out, no issue. However, Matt was taking unusually a long time. It's been a few minutes at that point. He then comes out of the toilet looking rather sheepish, only to tell us in front of everyone that he was standing going for a wee and he accidentally pooed his pants.
Really said this story.
It happens to some people.
However, Matthew decided the only possible way around this situation was to take his boxers off and leave it on the top of the urinal and walk out. People after were shouting, which dirty git left their pooey boxers in the toilet? Ladies and gentlemen, that dirty git is my brother Matthew. So as previously noted by Jay, with his uncontrollable wee in the bed, and now issues in pooing himself, Matt has a clear problem with his bowels. Good luck with this one, Lauren. He needs to get invested in baby nampers or something. Now, Matt always prided himself on growing up being the smartest brother. He always thought he was a little bit better. And he was always in contention, to be fair. However, there was one moment which certainly knocked him down, even to Paul's level. No, you don't want to do a speech, pal. You're my favourite brother. We were all driving to another Crystal Palace story. We were all driving to Crystal Palace away game in Swansea. Now, a few days before driving to Swansea, Mum's shouting, "Oh my God!" already. Yes, he parked his car outside his flat. Now, at the time, there were roadworks going on outside, but Matthew, oblivious to everyone, ignored all the signs and parked his car in the only place he could have. He then woke up in a panic to realise someone's moved his car. Of course, the roadworks needed to move his car and was on the next street. Although Matthew didn't realise, he called the police in a panic, reported his car stolen and missing, and was really upset for hours. He then soon realised that his car was only in the next road. That was fine, and any normal person, once they realised they found their car, would call the police and notify them. However, not our Matthew. He decided to drive his car, enjoy his weekend away in Swansea. Now, while driving on the motorway, Matt noticed 3 police cars approaching him from behind, then boxing him in, then aggressively signalling to pull him over. Thankfully, Matt didn't poo himself this time, or we. But now I wasn't there because I was already in Swansea, but I was told by friends and family that he was potentially crying, terrified, and rumours have it he was on his knees begging for forgiveness without even knowing what he'd done wrong. The police...
Done.
Yes, you were. The police put Matt in the back of a car and heavily questioned him, only to eventually work out he forgot to tell the police he found his car. They eventually let him go, but Matt certainly had to deal with the embarrassment of being the only person to drive a stolen vehicle that he in fact owned. So Matt has always been a bit different than us. As our brothers, we always say this more as a joke. However, it was always said with purpose, with confusion, from one person that really meant a lot to Matt, who Matt really loved, our mum. So Mum, you were a bit confused by Matt, I know you were. Because this was never a joke to Mum. Mum, without fail, she would always talk about how much she loved her sons, how proud she was, how much she cared. Although Matthew always got an extra line of commentary. He was always described as the quiet one, the weird one. Yeah. And you know what? This didn't change even when we met Lauren. Now, if you take anything away from all these stories, there is one thing I need you all to understand and realise. Do not trust Matthew with any form of investment. He promised several of us that if we invested £400, he would triple it by the end of the year. And as you can look around, there's a lot of nodding faces. But that year was 2020, and not a single penny has been put back in any of our accounts. So if you really want to thank anyone, thank us for enjoying the wedding today. But ultimately, while Matt has some embarrassing stories, he is truly a brilliant older brother. While I do mention he did look up to me, I certainly looked up to him more than he ever realised. He was always and will forever be my cool older brother. He's kind, caring, occasionally funny, and I think this is what certainly won over Lauren because it weren't his looks or his good hair. Now, Lauren, your personality suits Matt to an absolute T. He adores you, and you allow him to bring, as Mum would say, his quite weird self. However, one thing that was really surprising to us, and to me, is you fit into this family absolutely perfectly, and I mean that genuinely. While I imagine we can be loud and a little boisterous, you really do hold your own with us all. You're slowly getting better at realising we're all huggers. And for anyone who knows Lauren, she's certainly the complete opposite of a hugger. But I'll continue every single time I see Lauren to give her a hug, just see the discomfort in your face. While it can be difficult for some people to adjust to their partner having 2 kids, the way you are with the 2 boys, Isaiah and Noah, is just brilliant to see, and they truly adore you. If anything, and I mean this genuinely, they love you sometimes more than Matt. So I just want to thank you both for allowing us to share this special day with you. I really hope you have a lifetime happiness as you deserve. So now finally, I want to raise a toast to the happy couple. We raise a toast to Matt and Lauren.
That's yours, that's good. That's it.